Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this wonderful occasion for our fearless leader, as we call him, John Morgan. My name is Greg Bossler. Yay! And I'm here in Atlanta. I'm the managing partner here of the local office. It's a wonderful treat to be here in front of you all and this beautiful setting, and appreciate the city, Councilman Amos, the mayor and his office, and everybody for helping us put this together. Before I get to introducing some of the handsome gentlemen to my right, I just wanted to remark and just say what a thrill and honor it is to work with John and be with the firm for almost 20 years. You know, a lot of people talk about, well, what's it really like? Is he really a family guy? Does he really care? And I can emphatically tell you all, absolutely. It's true. What you see is what you get. And so at this time, with that background, I'd certainly like to introduce first Mr. Courtney English, who I believe is just announced as the Chief of Staff for the Mayor. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here on behalf of the 61st Mayor, Mayor Andre Dickens. Welcome to the People's House. Welcome to your house. It's always a pleasure to have folks with us down in City Hall. Thank you so much, Councilmember Amos, for your foresight, for your leadership, everything you do on behalf of the city, and for calling us to this moment to pause for a second and honor a man and a firm who has done so much for so many, both inside the courtroom as well as in the community. We are grateful for your service, Doug. Thank you for being here and accepting this award on your dad's behalf. We were just joking. He didn't have a choice but to enter the family business, and has worked his way up through, you started as in the call center, right? That's an incredible legacy of leadership, and I know your shoulders can carry that burden forward into the future. But listen, the Morgan & Morgan firm is no stranger to us in the city of Atlanta. We are critically aware of the work that you do, represent the least of these, represent folks who didn't have anywhere else to turn. In a lot of cases. And so, as the mayor would say, Atlanta is a group project, and Morgan & Morgan is a firm that when you stand up for people, you are participating in this group project. And so we are so eternally grateful for your leadership in the city, for John's outstanding service to folks who need help so far, well, in so many different ways. So thank all of you. Enjoy the evening. I'll leave you guys to it. We got some good music going. I hope you feed these people in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Make him feed y'all. He does that. But thank y'all for being here. It's so good to see you on behalf of our 61st Mayor. Enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless.
Thank you, Courtney, and congratulations on your new endeavor here.
Thank you. Congrats or condolences.
I know Dan Morgan, John's son, will speak to some of the circumstances behind the fact that John couldn't make it today, and I know it's painful for him to know that he didn't, despite his efforts, make it up here for this wonderful occasion. And I won't steal Dan's thunder, but he has some remarks, I believe, that John prepared as well. And so what would have happened organically would have been, of course, that John would be standing here or over here, and I'd be talking about him as a leader, a father, a man of moral integrity, intellect, and everything else. And so instead of him standing here, I just want to share something that happened recently on an interview. For the first time in my nearly 20 years interviewing somebody, and they spun the question and answers typically right from the person who's looking to hire someone, and they said, well, Greg, tell me why you're still here as 20 years approach. And I said, that's a great question, and it's simply because I love John Morgan. John is again, the most amazing human being, I believe, on this planet. No disrespect to all of us here and family members, but certainly when they molded him, they broke the mold thereafter. I call him, in a very complimentary way, he's a cartoon character. And when I say that, people kind of look at me much like you're looking at me right now, but I mean that in terms of you'll never ever meet him and say, oh my gosh, you remind me of so-and-so. You'll never meet him for the first time and think of anybody else in the world that is anywhere near his personality, his love, his passion, his humor, and everything else. And so, to me, he's the best of the best, and there's none better. Thankfully, his sons, and Dan is one of them, has certainly followed that legacy with our firm. And I'd like to introduce Dan Morgan to the group, but right before that, I think we're going to shoot or play a little video about John and the firm.
You've been injured.
I'm John Morgan of
Morgan & Morgan.
This is my wife and law partner. When you're injured and need a lawyer, the law firm you choose makes a big difference. Don't wait. Call today.
John, everyone hears your commercials and sees your messages.
You talk a lot about your brother Tim as a reason why you started this firm. Can you share more about that story and how it inspired you to become a lawyer and start Morgan & Morgan?
My brother was a senior in high school. He was a lifeguard at a resort. I was a sophomore at the University of Florida. I got a call one day from my father telling me that my brother had been injured in an accident and was paralyzed from the chest down. The doctor brought me in and he said he won't live to be 30. You know, I've probably cried thousands of times. We got to see what happens when you're poor and you got a big injury. And we ended up hiring the wrong lawyer, and Tim got really beat up. I mean, you would think he was an ISIS terrorist the way they fought Tim. And I became outraged. And I decided then and there that I would only ever do this type of work. You know, my children have grown up with me doing this type of work. At the end of the day, it's very simple. There are corporations, people on Wall Street, that every day put profit over people. Every day. And it makes me furious because I've seen it over and over again. They're worse than crooks because what they do is they take people's health and they throw it on the ground for their own self-gain. And our job is to come in, do the investigation that should have been done, shed light on the egregious conduct. And I always want to make sure that our clients receive the kind of care I wish Tim had received, and they do. When I see these clients in my lobby, I see my brother Tim. And I don't want him or them to ever have that kind of representation. I want them to have their best chance of winning and the best chance to put their life back together the best way they can. Later in life, Tim worked with us for 25 years. He'll be 62 years old soon, and he's had a wonderful life. But we saw there firsthand the difference a lawyer could make in a person's life. But the thing that I like the most about what we do is all the people we'll never know, that we'll never represent, that will benefit from the work we're doing today on behalf of our clients so it doesn't happen to you.
And so, thank you for that video. At this time, Dan, welcome, and thanks so much for coming. And I'll let you say a couple words here. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Happy to be here today in honor of my dad. I told my dad that I would write something on his behalf, and he told me absolutely not, that he was going to send me what to say. So I'm not speaking on behalf, but this is from my dad. For the last week, I have been battling back pain that has been raining down my left leg. I got an MRI that confirmed my problem. The pain was so bad at one point that I was literally willing to cut off my leg to get out of this pain. Yesterday, I took a shot and some medication more powerful than morphine, hoping to limp my way into this great day today. Unfortunately, when I woke up this morning, the agony was still there. So I did the next best thing. I asked my son Daniel, who was in Lexington, to fly in for this incredible honor. Dan was born on my birthday, March 31st. Imagine that birthday gift. Luckily for Dan, he did not inherit my height. I'm closer to Johnny Cochran in height. I have also partnered with Johnny Cochran in his firm. I served as a pallbearer in his funeral. We had an office here in Atlanta that is still led by the great Hezekiah Sistrunk, a giant of a man and of a lawyer. Dan got the tall gene. If he did not resemble me in the face and the eyes, I would have conducted extensive genetic testing. But there is no denying him. He is me, but with stilts. The first time I came to Atlanta, I went to the underground Atlanta and got drunk listening to an albino playing the piano. Piano Red. What a night. But I cannot share those details with you, and I cannot share them even with Dan. Needless to say, I fell in love with Atlanta that night. I've had so many great moments in Atlanta. Breakfast with Andrew Young, partnering in cases with Governor Roy Barnes, who took the Confederate flag down at the Capitol, even though he knew that would lead to him not being reelected. Having spirited conversations with John Lewis, both in Atlanta and in D.C., and learning about good trouble, the best kind of trouble to get in. Grant Hill is my partner in many ventures, and I always have good seats when I attend Hawks games on his behalf. To me, Atlanta is the capital of the South. It is the shining city on a hill. I love the food, I love the culture, the vibrancy. What I don't love, the traffic. What I do love most, though, is the people of Atlanta, in a big, big, big way. So this day is very special to me. It is a forever day. And because the people have welcomed me so much, I'm pleased to know that I will be fighting for the people, especially the people of Atlanta. So thank you for this honor. Now I have to go back to my medicine, stretches, and of course, my weed gummies. God bless Atlanta, and emphasis on all of its people. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. I heard the inflection when you said weed gummies, so I just wanted to point that out once again. But no, those were real feelings, and Dan did a great job of articulating that for all of us. And I know, once again, John wishes he were here. And so at this time, I believe Councilman Amos from the 3rd District, we spoke a lot about this before, is ready to present a proclamation to Dan for John Morgan.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We're not going to prolong this, but you know, when this was brought to my attention by 2 individuals, I got a phone call, said, hey, would you like to do a proclamation? And since I know the individual, I said, yeah, I do it for you, yeah, whatever. I say, who is for? He said, John Morgan. I say, for the people? Yeah. So that started this, and I won't call his name because, you know, he's always playing the background, but it's the guy in the boots over there. But this is a huge day, because there's only a few individuals that can bring litigators together, elected officials together, and y'all not filing briefs, we're not changing laws, everyone is just here to say thank you. You know, it's befitting our chief of staff talk about this being the people's house. So it was only befitting that we bring the law firm that's for the people to the people's house. This individual that we're here to honor has proved it all. He has proven that it's not always the strong arm of the law to get it done. He has definitely proved it's not one call to do it all, get it done. But he has proved that it's for the people, by the people. So I hold in my hand now, I'm about to read a proclamation. A proclamation is the highest honor that the Atlanta City Council can give to an individual or organization. I'm not going to read the whole thing because we know how powerful the individual that we're honoring is today. But it says, Proclamation, Atlanta City Council, in recognition of Attorney John Morgan. Whereas in 1988, John Morgan and his wife, Ultima Morgan, founded Morgan & Morgan with a powerful and enduring mission for the people, to protect individuals from being outmatched in that courtroom by powerful corporations and insurance companies. Whereas John Morgan professional excellence has been celebrated nationally, including listing in Forbes 2025 billionaires list. Whereas since opening its office in Atlanta in 2007, Morgan & Morgan has expanded to 10 Georgia locations. Whereas under John Morgan's leadership, the firm has graciously supported numerous Atlanta-based causes and organizations, including Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Youth Spark, Soccer in the Street, Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation. Whereas John's civic engagement extends to advocate and philanthropy across the Southeast, where he has raised millions to advance medical marijuana legalization, understand it's gummies now, increase the minimum wage, and combat hunger, homeless, and domestic violence. And this is the most important part. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the members of the Atlanta City Council, on behalf of the residents of Atlanta, do hereby declare this 8th day of October 2025 as John Morgan Day in our great city, in recognition of his extraordinary professional achievements, steadfast commitment to justice, and far-reaching community service, and extend our sincere appreciation to John Morgan and Morgan & Morgan for their ongoing investment in the people of Atlanta and advance the cause of justice. It is signed by the Atlanta City Council President and all members of the Atlanta City Council. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Kind of feels like the Heisman Trophy up here for a minute. But in all seriousness, thank you again, Councilman Amos, the city, everybody here today, and certainly on behalf of John and Dan and all the family at Morgan & Morgan, we appreciate the generosity and the planning in this event and look forward, as we said, to perhaps a meeting again here sometime soon with John. So thank you all very much. Have a great night, and remember, if you're ever injured in an automobile accident, call Morgan & Morgan for the people. Thank you all.